Stab your weapon up. Stab your weapon up. Stab your weapon up with THC.
Oh my God, girl. Good job.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in again to another episode of Level Up with Gene and Jay.
Yeah.
It is episode 25, guys.
25, man.
25,
Wow.
and today we have national peace activist KG Wilson. He's been a national peace activist for well over 20 years now.
Back in the building, man. Back in the building. Welcome.
We have his friend Damone Presley. And tell you a little something about the two of these gentlemen is they both experienced heavy losses, losing a granddaughter and a daughter. And so, you know, they're friends, and we want to talk about their friendship and like what types of things they do to emotionally support each other. But
especially through something so tragic.
But, you know, for a lot of our viewers, some people don't know the stories. Do you guys mind just introducing yourself and then giving a recap of what happened, and we can move on from there?
Go ahead, Damone.
Yeah. First, appreciate coming on the show.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, y'all reached out to me. I'm like, who the heck is this? And then instantly I got a call from my buddy KG. So we've been on this journey for the last 3 years. September 12th, 2021 was a life changer. We had a convention that year in particular, and I was speaking at a convention. So I had, my kids with me. My daughter had called me earlier that day. Because, I'm a grandfather too.
Right.
Don't look like it, but I am.
Hey, you age gracefully, brother.
Black don't crack?
No, never. We stay solid.
Yeah.
I got back. It was in St. Louis Park.
Okay.
That year. And so I got back. She wanted to, get her weekend like she normally do. I get the kids. And I wanted her to come. You can't go back 2 times, but, you wish you could have done something. But, reality-wise, So I got to my mother's house because my grandma was actually passing. So we had brought her back home to be with family as that was going to happen. And so my daughter was over there helping my mom, usual everyday life stuff, you know. And so I got there, got the grandkids, and, be the worst day and the last day that, I would see my daughter alive. And so, her thing is always pops up for a couple bucks for the transfer. And this was my first child, so something more than just special fatherhood, and actually helped me make, the biggest transition in my life from where I had been 30 years ago, the last time of her life that, it just came so surreal. Left, went to the house, weekend, and that Sunday, her mother gave me a call because they had not spoke to her, and that's usually not the usual. But, I didn't really take nothing to think about it. And so time had passed, and my granddaughter was actually starting kindergarten that Monday.
What's your granddaughter's name?
Her name is, my mind went blank. I haven't talked about this story in a while.
No, it's all right.
Nizela. Yeah, Nizela. And so it was like 8:30-ish. Actually, I think we were together that Sunday at 18th and Park meeting over there. And so Mom had called me back again, prior from earlier that afternoon. And, how you get a feel, you get a sense. And not nothing like that, but you just get a feeling sense,
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm like, okay, 12, 16 hours almost had passed from earlier that morning, and so I just brushed it off. I said, hey, she's probably asleep, whatever. She, because I know my daughter, and so I did kind of like, okay, yeah, she ain't called me. Cause she won't call him back, but she called her daddy back. You know what I'm saying?
Daddy's girl.
And so I said, okay, she'll call. And so when I got off the phone, I just felt this like worriness a little bit. So I called, and it just kept ringing. And I remember my last text is saying, "Call Dad. Let me know what's going on. I'll see you. When you get here. And so went home. After the meeting, now it's 12 at night, early morning, Monday, and still no call, no answer. But in between that, now Auntie called me, and they said they had found a vehicle, so I'm to be honest, I'm brushing everything off, y'all freaking me out.
Right.
Yeah.
Relax, quit calling me. Now I went there.
Right.
Because now that feel from earlier felt like a punch. And so, I went to sleep. And this is the first time I'm sharing this.
Take your time,
my
brother.
spirit was like in a warfare. And it felt like I was up, but I wasn't, and I just like darkness.
Something just wasn't sitting right with you.
Yeah, and so I got up. I believe it's like about 4 a.m. and I called, and it went to voicemail. So only thing I could think about when they said that they found the vehicle. And there was actually 4 people in it. She had went out with 4 people. And so I prayed real quick. And I remember I just got back in the bed. And that morning, I ended up taking my granddaughter to her father's. I need to get to work. And I just went on with my regular routine, drop my kids off at school. And, I normally make a meeting on Monday with my lunch break. And I got a call, and their mother was screaming and hollering. And so I just instantly hung up. And, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us, brother. So did they find this vehicle and your daughter and the other victims the very next day after it happened?
No, they had found it actually that Sunday. And they weren't releasing any information. They wanted to verify, not only my daughter, but who were the other in the vehicle. And they weren't giving any information.
Right.
But it was actually found on that Sunday.
On that Sunday, okay.
Yeah, they just didn't notify family-wise till that Monday.
Right. So, do you mind us asking, what was the relationship between Nitosha and this guy that took her life?
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors that there was no relationship. So I give you some background in history to this demon. My family and his family know of each other, come from the same community, and so he grew up with some little cousins of mine, and they're all kind of like in the same age, same area. Is Tasha. So my little cousins are a little older, some same age as my daughter and her friends. So they all hung out. My little cousins and my daughter, they were friends with that demon. And so that's how my daughter knew of him. Didn't actually know him, but knew of him. And my little cousin was spending time, or I want to say, partner up with this dude when he came in town. And I guess he had done that frequently and would connect with my cousins.
Yeah.
My boy cousins.
Right.
Not my daughter. And so in particular, that week he came, Tasha was with my cousin. I ain't gonna say his name, but was with my cousin. And they had went to a frequent spot, Billy's, I believe, on Grand. And that's where she connected with that demon. Yeah.
Did your daughter ever speak of this guy to you?
No. And I wish she would have, even though she's a grown, brilliant mother, intelligent lady.
Right.
I still scream.
Yeah.
Who you with, and that's one of the things kids, oh, Dad. But, like I told her, I know your friends, but I don't know the friends they know.
Right.
And I always would have that conversation. And so be it, but, so that's a lot of reflect with this tragedy. I've always had that conversation with my daughter, befriending your friends' friends doesn't mean that you know them,
Were you friends with Antone's father?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like friend.
Acquaintances.
Right.
Sure.
We were all having a conversation when we talk about friends,
Right.
Now, KG's my friend because
Right.
I know he's a friend.
Right.
But, we know of people and we just say, oh, that's my friend.
Right.
So my dad was a mentor to a lot of men, taught them how to box, inner city youth league where people could go from the community. So that's how I knew of him. My father, and mother have good community ties.
Right.
So our family was like, that's the family, we black. So in black community, we had that type of family where everybody came and was considered family.
Right.
And so that's how I mutually knew of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we'd have discussions, we see each other.
Yeah.
And just, first time knowing, I'll share that I had priorly seen him a month before this whole incident. And spoke to him, chopped it up, and he had spoke about what my dad had did to help him and this, that, and third, which usually happens from St. Paul to Rondo community, and so we just spoke about that briefly. Yeah.
So, go ahead, Jay.
Well, I was just gonna make sure our viewers know. So, the father of the suspect took part in the disposal of the victims. They brought them out to rural Wisconsin into a field where they left, was it an SUV there? And the father claimed when they were in court that, he had no idea about what was going on, which I highly doubt in a lot of ways. If you don't mind me asking, like kind of when you found out that it was him involved, like what kind of was going through your mind then? Like just shocked, like
even before him, just with his idiot son.
Yeah.
Of knowing the Sugg family, Dad, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And then seeing the father, because we're of age, same age or similar. And I'm like, wow, that just really threw me. And like you said, this idiot talking about what he didn't know, but you're riding around for hours, hours, plotting and scheming to
disposal.
Yeah, I don't even like to say it, but
no, but that's
try to hide my daughter and her friends based on what your son had did, and for you to have some involvement,
So was there a trial for both of them, or did they plea, or?
He pleaded. His son went to trial.
So he got 5 years, right? And the son, 100 and something years. Did you get any kind of information on why this happened, or?
It's funny because, the sons claim that they tried to rob him. So a mere lie, a fabricated story, that not in a million years, that would have been taking place.
Which I felt like his so-called reasoning kind of fell on top of itself. You know what I mean? He was talking about it was in self-defense, that he took a gun away from one of the victims and then opened fire to protect himself. But then when you see the footage, that didn't look like anything. You see a car, you hear shots, you see a car sped off. You know what I mean? Like self-defense, wouldn't you want to get a hold of someone right away and try to get this situation cleared out, I'm so sorry, man. That's our deepest condolences to you, bro. Like, such a tragic story.
So, KG, were the two of you friends before this incident happened? And KG?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How long have you guys been friends for?
15 or more.
16 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real friend right there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's a real friend right there.
And can I tell you, what broadened our connection more than just our friendship, that we share something that most don't share when it comes to loved ones being taken from us.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this brother, I probably wouldn't be here. I didn't know what to do after I got the news, and just prior 3 months before that, I had seen him faced with something that none of us should have been faced with, and he was the only one I could think about that could help me. And so I was praying that whole week that, God give me some strength, and I need to see him, But I couldn't call nobody because I was numb, and I wanted to just shell up. And in particular, we go to some places where we fellowship, and I had prayed that, I see him because I know what he's going through. And now, like, here I am. And sure enough, he came walking in. No, I was coming out to go smoke a cigarette. And he was coming in. And we both just stopped. And we hugged. And I just told him, I said, man, I don't know what to do, And he was like, I got you, And we've been connected before, but ever connected. Now more than ever.
Yeah.
He's my go-to, and I'm his go-to. Where we're at in our life, I don't think we'll never be healed from this.
I think it's wonderful that the two of you have this symbiotic relationship, man.
Yeah.
You have somebody to lean on, somebody that can help you through. And what are the chances that two human beings have experienced such horrible losses that known each other for 15 years? Man.
It's definitely a hard one to talk about. before we even ask, like, stuff even about the case itself, would you mind just kind of sharing, like, about Nitosha? Like, what was she like?
Yeah, she, my lookalike. She was my heart and soul. I love all my children. But this was my first child.
Something about the firstborns, right?
Yeah. And so, a lot of my own characteristics I would see in her. And, she's always been my biggest cheerleader, at some points that were low in my life, that I was always inspired to, get it together. She was smart, intelligent. She would, in the work that I do, she was good with computers and, just mapping out my portfolios and all that good stuff. She was an excellent mother. She was my soft side.
Yeah.
I want to say.
I like that. Yeah,
She really knew that how to get to daddy when nobody else could, and she was. I could never tell her no, and she knew that, and she always used that to her advantage, which
daddy's girl.
Yeah, you want to say the pushover. That I was, and the beauty was she wasn't the type of child that got into stuff. She was able to speak her mind. Us Presleys, we have no fear. As far as being who we are, comfortable who we are, and she had a plethora of friends.
Yeah.
So she was. We always say by attraction. We don't try to promote, try to be something you're not.
Right.
She was her genuine self.
So her aura kind of drew a lot of people into her. Yeah.
And she had so many friends. I couldn't keep up. Bright young ladies, and one thing about her, if y'all want to throw a party, have a party, and wanted some choreographic stuff, and I like the space here. This is real dope.
Yeah,
we got history, we got culture, we got hip hop.
Yeah.
We got new generation. As I'm looking around the room, she was that type.
Yeah,
she can bring all those things.
She had an eye for that.
Yeah, into one.
Yeah,
and when she threw gatherings for family or friends, man, it was to the extreme. Yeah, I used to be like, "Daddy can't stay too long.
Right?
y'all in here doing it big,
right?
Right? And she was just the life of, I want to say the party, and that don't mean at a party,
right?
I just mean as black folk. How we like to gather and get together.
Yeah.
It
sounds like it meant a lot to her to put a lot of effort into bringing people together, right? And making sure they had a good time together. That's rare. Yeah. That's rare.
She was the glue.
Yeah.
She was the glue. So she speaks to me on a regular. One of the things that I have to do when I do, I go see my daughter every day. Rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, blizzard.
How did you guys explain that to her child after that happened? That had to be super rough.
I couldn't even give you an answer. That I believe is still there. You can't read a child's mind. If I know how I feel, still, I just say I know how my grandchildren feel.
Right.
My grandson kind of quiet off. You would like to pick his brain, but that's going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
He's an astronaut, so he's really bright and intelligent. This dude is so smart, man. He makes rockets and everything.
Wow.
And that dude is so smart. And then my granddaughter, Nizela, you know, she's a spark. I see a lot of my daughter in her, and I always tell her, you know, you're my daughter too.
Right.
You just, I'm Papa, but I'm still daddy to you too.
Right.
So, that's kind of hard to say.
Sure.
You know, but for me, wise, I let them come with the conversation.
Got it.
I don't bring those conversations to my grandchildren, you know, but I do talk about mom, you know, and certain stuff that we're doing.
Right.
Or I'll say, you know, because my granddaughter, she says she's little Nitosha. And so, but you know, I can say my second youngest daughter, Demaya, was really affected. And from time to time, I see her have some struggle.
Yeah.
Sure. And she'll begin to talk about her sister, and sometimes I'll just see her kind of like in one of them sullen places, and I'll be like, hey, you okay? And then she'll tell me she's thinking about her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had just started spending more time with Tasha.
Rekindling and
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, you know, and I'll tell you the story. Tasha, I got 12 children, and so Tasha's the oldest, and you know, we're all together. We're at family functions, and you know, everybody, daddy.
It's popping.
You need to see that. And she'll tell them in a minute, y'all get behind me, because I'm about to get mine first.
Right.
I am the oldest, and I was first.
Right,
You know?
right.
And so the other ones, that was their little thing. And, you know, and that's something I come to appreciate, you know, as a father, because, you know, there's not too many fathers when it comes to us black men out here. And not to say that there isn't, because there is.
Right.
But
they're just
for
not
me
talked
being
about enough,
one of them, and it's not talked about, you know, that would always, you know, put a good place in my heart. But then they would get in line, because she'll get them in line.
Yeah.
And that was funny when she would tell them that, hold on, I don't care, you know, because they're like, well, you're grown. And she'll go, and I'm still the baby.
Right.
Because I was first, you
Right.
know. So just to,
100%.
yeah, see them have that conversation. You know, and that's one of the things I try to grasp when, you know, my emotions get to that place sometimes.
Well, so we're kind of a mental health podcast we're developing into. And so my question for both of you guys is, how do you maintain a peace of mind with what both of you have gone through?
So, first of all, it's really something that to hear Damone talk about his daughter. And it's almost like I was talking about my daughter. You know, I heard so much similarity, and it's kind of terrifying, because as he's talking and I'm hearing so much about my daughter, and I'm thinking, like, I couldn't imagine my daughter, you know, losing my daughter in any kind of way.
Right.
Some of the things he said, like my daughter, you know, me being a peace activist all the years, my daughter would always say stuff like, Dad, I can't go nowhere and do nothing. Everybody knows me. They know you. And you know, everybody's watching me all the time. And I said, good.
Right.
And so she says, I can't go
That means
nowhere.
it's
You won't
working.
let me do this. You won't let me. No, you don't. Well, my other kids get to do this. And then they say, your dad always saying you got to do. But when my daughter, like you said something also, my daughter came home from school one day when she was younger. And she said, Dad, none of my friends at school have daddies. And when I told them I had a daddy, they was like, you have a real daddy?
Yeah.
And she thought, as a little kid, all kids had daddies.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so just that relationship, man, the closeness of that. And so I need to say something that I've never probably, I don't know if I told him or I've spoken of. I see we're doing a lot of saying more things today that we've actually said before. But I never told him, and I'm telling you here now that when that happened to you, I was at a breaking point. And it seems like ever since that happened that like I wanted to lose it. I was angry and furious. I don't care about this peace thing and nothing. They did this to my baby. I'm gonna do this in my mind, and I don't know what nobody else can think, but my mind was like that. And so at that moment, when I came to the meeting that night and I heard about what happened, I stopped. And I understood why, from that point on, why I couldn't do what I was going to do. If I would have did what I would have been done, you would have saw the top story in the news. His grandfather did this. He's in jail or whatever could have happened to me. And I would not have been here with him, for him.
Yeah.
And so, but I need to understand, you to understand that you were there for me. Because at that particular time when he didn't tell you, I said, we're going to get in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. We're going to GPS it. We're going to go to Wisconsin where this happened. We're going to go there and we're going to do a vigil. And we're not going to just do it for her. We're going to do it for all four.
Right.
So we drove to Wisconsin. Man, I'm telling you, you don't ever want to go where we went.
Yeah.
We went through 2 towns that I think one had 5 and one other one had 15 in it.
Wow.
And the people were just looking like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
The actual, and I don't know if he didn't say this, but where we actually did the vigil at, there was a few people that came to help us there because they knew. But the guy where the bodies were found at, he wouldn't even stop over there. He wouldn't even come. He just kept riding by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just kept riding by, but wouldn't stop over there with us, which I said, Damone, don't worry about that. We're going to do this. Yeah. This is our mission. This is the first thing we got to do. And from that point on, we continued to talk to the news and try to get it out there. I said, man, we're not going to let this go. We're going to push. I'll be right there with you, because something about in the black community, and I'm going to say this again, like I said it before, when stuff like this happen, you don't see nobody. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody want to talk. Nobody want to be seen.
Right.
But if it's the Caucasian or the police, you got thousands of people showing up. Everybody wants to talk, do interviews. Everybody want to be seen. They protest and rally and whatever, but there was nobody to do that.
Right.
Nobody was willing to do that. Was it not for my granddaughter or for him, for his daughter? Yeah. And so that happens that way. And then, like he said, sadly, and I don't like it, is I didn't know the son, but I knew the father. Because in different places that are frequently to go see live music, he would come there.
Right.
Yeah. And so for me us both to know this person, it just was, you never know what's going to happen.
I was actually blown away too. I was glad that, for the trial itself, that they kind of saw right through Suggs's BS. You know what I mean? Like, again, when you look at like the self-defense claims he was trying to hit, it didn't seem like they ate that up at all. You know what I mean? It just didn't seem right. And then the dad, it just like, I could see a part of like a father trying to protect his son, but at the same time, me as a father, and I think we've talked about this before too, KG, is like, what is the right thing to do for your kid? Is the right thing to do to help with a situation like this, or is the right thing to do to help him understand what he did wrong? You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if he's your friend too, like you did this to our people's, you know what I mean, convincing him to turn himself in, not going damn near a whole nother state over to a rural area and drop it off. You know what I mean? Like drop off a vehicle and just, it's just heartbreaking, man. But I'm glad that somewhat of justice was served, right? Like he got, what was it, like 103 years?
Yes.
That's what's up. And then the dad, it sounds like he got 5, was it?
He got 5. He has trial coming up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So
he has a trial coming up?
Yeah, so that was 5 here, right?
Yeah, just
and
here.
Now it's got to be
trial in Wisconsin. So
he's going to do more than 5 years.
Oh yeah.
I was worried about what's going to happen when he hits the streets in 5 years.
For someone too, I mean, you would think, like, do you even want to get out at this point? You know what I mean? Like,
some people don't think like that.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, finishing up, we've been just the support, me knowing that, and I still get angry, especially because I'm not where he is, but he's explained to me where he is going to be something that I got to deal with also.
Right.
And so I'm just thinking about that too. But just right now is just the showing up and being there, and I really thought of you guys. I really thought since this has happened, and I told him months ago.
Yeah.
I said, you got to meet my man's Gene and Jay, and we need to go on the show and talk about this, man, because sometimes people forget about stuff, or people don't understand the emotions, the pain, the hurt that has not gone away.
Right.
And so far as, like you said, with dealing with it, it's just a team thing now. It's like something that we do. Life goes on. We still got life on life terms.
Yeah.
It's just the tragedies are there, and it's either you gonna make or break.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
props to
is
both
it gonna
of y'all,
allow
I mean,
it to
for
make you
staying
or
as
break
strong
you?
as you
Yeah,
are.
you just got to continue to go on. It's like, it's sad to say this, but it's like all the years that I've known him before this happened, like, love my dude. I've always loved Damone, but it's like now I wait to see him.
Yeah.
Because the people that we're around, they don't have this.
They don't have that connection,
They
right.
don't understand what's going on. People can see you smiling, but you're crying on the inside. You're angry.
Facts.
But since we're in a community, we got relationships, stuff like that. We got family, we got kids. We can't be that angry man all the time. We have to put him over here for a minute and go do this. He still has his children. He got a father, do different things.
Right.
Yeah.
And this man is amazing father. You know,
I mean, you can hear it
I
in
have not
his
seen.
voice, you know.
I've not seen anybody in our fellowships, our friends that the father. How many you have at home now?
7.
7. This man, and I just watch him go through what he went through and take care of these children, man.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and he's, does a lot of other things in the community, his job, work with a lot of young men.
Yeah.
I was watching some videos of you, I think probably like 5 years ago. You were talking to people about not smoking cigarettes, and so are you still deeply in the community? And,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just want to get back to your question with how do we handle or deal with the mental.
Yeah.
And that, this my buddy, he cracks me up. Because he'll be on 10,
Yeah.
and he see me, I get it out.
Yeah.
I'll be on 10, and he'll get it out.
Yeah.
And so we'll
It's never at the same
kind of even it.
Right.
And that's a good thing. I'm glad it
It
has
is.
been never at the same time. And the thing is, we seek each other out when we know that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And I don't know, well, I do know with God that we're firm believers of that we won't even see each other.
Yeah.
But if we're there, we will know.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, I got text in my spirit will say, he ain't in the right place.
Right.
And so I'll text him and I'll say, hey, it's going to be better. Take a deep breath. And then out the blue, if I'm there, and I ain't seen him, he'll do that.
Yeah.
He'll send me a text. And I'll be like, God,
God's
look at
grace.
you. And it just
Yeah.
put me back.
He hit me with that,
Yeah,
God's grace.
Yeah,
God's
that's what I'm
grace.
saying. And it just puts me back focused.
Aligns you back up to your
enough.
purpose.
Yeah. And so, I'm glad that I have somebody who understands where I'm at, and when I'm like, man, I just gotta sing, right now I need to get this out, and me and him can communicate. Like you said, a lot of people, we only can imagine.
Yeah.
Until this happens to you, you'll never know.
Right.
And I'm so sorry to hear that this guy still, from what I understand, is claiming his self-defense still. He's not going to break about the truth behind it. And just thinking about that for you is just like so hard, man. Like, I'm so sorry. Like,
Is it hard not to know why?
Yeah, it is. But like I said, when that question was asked, there ain't no answer.
Right. There's not going to be a good answer.
Why would it just? What could you tell me that you have to stick to your lie?
yeah.
Because on God's green earth, where would I come up with what I did or what that fool did?
Yeah.
There's no explanation.
Like you said, he's a
I
demon.
know my child.
Some people are just evil.
Yeah, I know my child, and I know her friends.
Yeah.
They weren't even thinking about you.
Right.
They was there to have a good time.
He said this guy was coming back and forth, right? From like Arizona. And
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Seems like he was very unstable, You know, like after everything happened, just the whole process of meeting up with his dad, going out there, it's the comfortability and not even thinking about his actions at the time. You know what I mean? Like,
can I be honest with you? You know, and I've never shared this, but I'm a firm believer that he was on some illicit drug because that was stated.
Water or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know my daughter and her friends, they are loud.
Yeah.
I told you, they like to party.
Right.
And he got paranoid.
Right. I wouldn't doubt
from
that.
his own misdeeds.
Right.
You know, I know for myself, when I would get high, when I was, and there was too much noise, and I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
And that brings a psychosis.
Yeah.
And I think he was in psychosis mode.
Probably had a lack of proper, mental discipline.
Yes.
You know,
and he stated he had not slept over 24 hours.
I was thinking the same thing, man. I was just like, man, he must have been smoking that water or
He
something.
had to. He had to.
How long was it between when it happened and when he got caught? Or he turned himself in, was it?
Well, he actually had got away for a couple of days.
He went out of town.
Arizona.
Yeah.
So did they do any type of drug testing when they arrested him?
Would be too late then.
It would have been too late.
Yeah. You know, from the actual time. And that's what I wish, if he, they would have got his butt right then.
Right.
But for me, that kind of gives me peace to that answer.
Yeah.
And who's going to say, I was scared.
Right.
Yeah, because you was scared after the fact.
Right.
That when you realize what the hell you just did.
Right.
But that for me, that was the only way I could come with an answer.
Sure.
Because other than that, are you going to really tell the truth? Yeah, I would like to hear where he was, but I don't think he even realized where he was.
Right.
Till after the fact.
Yeah, you could tell it's like his whole story was all over the place.
Let me throw something in there real quick that really bothered me of something that you would have had to experience or me, knowing who did what. If there was no camera footage, there was no trail of not knowing who did this and how they did it, and them just going on with their normal life and seeing you. Hey, what's going on, man? Because we know. And us not even knowing that the person that just said it is the one who did it.
Right.
Because that's just like with me thinking now. I may know who the person is that killed my granddaughter.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a good chance.
Over the 20 years, I've helped so many families, so many people. I have talked about this many times. I may know who that is.
Yeah.
They may, quite sure they know me, they see me. I just don't know who they are. I might see somebody in the store or anything, and they're just living a normal, going on with life. He don't know me. They don't know who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you following me? Or somebody that was there. Not only that, people that could have been there. That knows who the people are, and I'm seeing them all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that's
and so
powerful,
that's
man.
I tell him that's a horrible, irritable feeling. Whenever I come over to North Minneapolis, it's a horrible feeling because I'm treated differently than I used to be treated.
Right.
Hey, Mr. KG, how you do? People will run and see me. I mean, people still do, but now over there, it's a different thing now. Now when people see me, they're
Like avoidance, almost like they're
they
ashamed.
don't want to see me. They're putting their head. These are people who normally wouldn't do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now it makes me think, oh, you know something. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, that's something that you have to live with. And that goes back to the support, how just having somebody that you can, because this particular thing that we're dealing with, you can't talk to with everybody.
Right.
Not many people want to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see it plastered all over Facebook.
They just want
If
to
you
go
notice,
away.
though, when there's a police shooting, it's on every page.
Right.
Everybody is sharing it.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, nobody wants to talk about. They want it to go away. Even like with the banner, I got to bring that up because it's recent.
Absolutely.
With the banner being taken down that said "Justice for Anaya" to the community. Hey, we're still seeking justice. Not only were people getting mixed up at it, not only are we seeking justice for our loved one, you got to understand the person that killed a 6-year-old child is still out here.
Right. And to make it even worse, this person is hanging around
Could
people.
be.
You could be literally, there's more people being created by the day,
So-
the same type of monsters.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So you're trying to hide a child killer that may be who is more dangerous now because he's worried about being caught.
More
So
unhinged.
so so I try to keep telling people in the community that it's not just about the justice for my granddaughter and for her family, but it's also to save another child from being shot or killed, or
And
your
you
loved
speak
one
so
from being
heavily
shot
about
and
that.
killed.
KG, will you, so not all of our viewers or listeners know exactly who you are or what you've endured. Will you kind of explain to the folks what you've been going through for the last 3 years? And
So I'll try to give some, but like I said, I really definitely wanted him to be able to tell a story and be here with him.
Oh,
but for the
absolutely.
last 3 years, and those who are close to me, I mean close to me, if you would have asked them personally, off camera, they would tell you it's just been, like he said, up and down. There's tears days, there's anger days, there's rage days, and I think next month is a memorial. And I noticed the closer that it gets to that, a lot of things are happening, like just in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know, which one thing with the banner.
Right.
And so it's just like my day starts with waking up and going to look at my phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm always thinking that when I'm going to wake up and look at my phone and there's going to be justice, there's going to be a missed call and texts and messages. Because if it happens, a whole bunch of people will know about it. And if I'm asleep, I'll probably be the last one. I was the last one to find out my granddaughter was killed. When I got back to my phone, because you know how the phones, the charger stuff, when I got back and looked on my phone, I saw tons of messages, missed messages and calls from my family and people in the community, police, everybody, mayor, that this had happened. And so I was the last one to know about it. And so like my day starts off with checking my phone. And so you got to think. So I've been checking my phone every day for the last going on 3 years. And there's nothing there.
Right.
There's nothing there. And far as with me being who the people see me as, I've never seen myself like that. I'm just somebody who is grateful that God had grace and mercy over my life to change my life 20 years ago. And then I wanted to help somebody, and that was it. I never saw myself as the person that they see me as. But then now, when this happened, I'm like, okay, I poured myself into this community all these years. I was there for your families. Somebody knows something.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody knows something. Why haven't I gotten a call?
Right.
And I haven't. And still to this day, I haven't. I woke up this morning, no call.
Yeah.
No missed text.
Well, I do want to let our viewers know that Crime Stoppers has a $180,000 reward. You could call anonymously and not give any information about who you are and just give an anonymous tip, or you can try to collect this $180,000 and say who did it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody knows something out there. There's
You
6
got
degrees of
to.
separation. I believe in that 6 degrees of separation.
Me too.
Yeah.
And
Always have.
I believe that people involved are watching you, KG.
Everything.
They're watching
We
you.
talked about that.
You know what I mean? They're going to see this video.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. Help them out and help yourself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said, Damone, this happened in 2021.
Yes.
Do you guys hold an annual memorial as well?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Like I said, if it wasn't for this brother here, man, actually I wouldn't be doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, you know, I'm still
Broken.
yeah. Last year I didn't do as much as I normally had done in the beginning. I'm getting kind of to a place where, you know, if I ain't chiming in with KG and just my daughters and my other sons, I'm not too much into the broader thing anymore, because, and I don't know if this is just our thing or not, but a lot of people just don't get it.
Yeah.
And I know it's not them, it's still me, but I get a little angry, even at my own family, when they seem okay. And I understand everybody grieves,
Right.
tragedy,
Everyone grieves
things
differently.
different.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like, some days we don't feel like doing nothing. And I got to charge him up, he'll charge me up. But as it gets closer, and I know what he's going through, we just talked about that recently, we get into this place, man. And so, but yeah, we have done it. But I don't think I'm gonna continue to do anything big wise. Just
well, what's important too is like, especially even on this episode, sharing with not just Gene and I, but with the viewers and listeners at home, to know who she was.
Yes.
Keeping her spirit alive that way. And I mean, Damone, huge props to you, bro, because, even someone who grew up with a absentee father, like to see someone that has so much passion and love for their children, dude, is, especially a black man, is so powerful, bro. And it's insane, just to fathom the idea of me losing one of my kids. So the strength you both and resilience you both have, dude, is incredible. Like when we first started looking into this, I just remember like even texting my son, just to remind him that I love him, you know what I mean? And just sometimes something as little as just hearing that ding go off and then seeing like they love the message or love you too, you know what I mean? And my heart just goes out to you, bro.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad the two of you have each other, man. It sucks, the circumstances, but I think you two make a good friendship, and happy you guys have each other.
Yeah.
I think from this point to you guys, it's about us helping each other, but now we're here to also help others now. Because sad to say, somebody else is gonna go. Because I wouldn't have thought it would have been us years ago. Before what happened to ours. And so we are sadly and tragically equipped as survivors to be able to help somebody else survive. Because I'm telling you, when it first happens, your mind is just And so I can imagine if somebody else and them not maybe having a sober mind or a spiritual place where we are, or responsibilities and stuff like that. Because like I said, he still has other children, but your mind takes you to a place that if you could just get your hands on that person, that instant gratification, I'm hurting and you did this. And so, like I said, I think we're being watched and people are paying attention to us going through what we're going through, but we're also examples of what to do if something like this happens. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to vet, but continue with life. And I think that's what our loved ones will want us to do.
Right.
I think it's important too for our peoples and that's viewing and listening. Like, if you a dad out there, man, and you've been having some trouble with your kids or you've been not there, it's not too late. You know what I mean? Like, pick up the phone, rekindle, fix whatever problems there is, because you guys are living proof. Like, tomorrow's never promised, man. And you have today to be a better person. You have today to be a better father. And if no one hears it, then just know that we got that from y'all. Like, you remind us to stay in our kids' lives, to be those positive role models, and the pain you're going through, Damone, alone, I mean, I guarantee there's someone that's going to see this, or people have already seen it, that are just probably just tears themselves like we are, just the strength you guys have, and...
Damone, do you feel like just talking about it alone helps with the healing process? Like, does this feel good to you to be doing this right now?
Well, yeah. I'm glad y'all had KG reach out to me, because I probably would. I would have came because I'm a firm believer, as KG was saying. I'm a believer in God, so God has His way, and too bad it had to happen to us, had to happen to me, but I can be help for someone to come.
Right.
And just taking on, as you said, with young men, I have a program that I do working with young men, so around substance abuse, making better choices, decisions. And so a lot of folk in the community know of what I do has helped them be able to help their children.
Right.
Is it like your own like?
Well, actually, I have one is my own work, and that's Vision and Living Life. Change is possible, and it's a building healthy lifestyle program. I developed a 6-lesson curriculum that works with our young people.
Wow. Dude.
And then I currently am working along with Twin Cities Recovery Project, and we have Recreation of Change. We call it a ROC, and that works with our young people from the age of 13 to 26. And we work around substance abuse issues, trauma, mental illness. And so, yeah, you know, and I've been doing that over 20 years. So, you know, that's the love and compassion that I bring. And I'm a firm believer in the next generation.
Yeah.
You know, and as we as black men, you know, don't help raise our community, we're going to lose our community. You know,
facts,
so
bro.
That's very important to me. Not only, and you know, I always draw back to my buddy because he said, you know, we got something to do. Because like I said, after this happened to me, I didn't want to do shit.
Right.
To be honest, I was like, I'm done. You know,
I can only imagine, man.
Because I still today will stop mid-traffic, pull over, and say, you know, not why did this happen to me, but what the hell?
Right.
You know, like, you know, and
is there anything that either one of your organizations might need, like something that we can help, you know, spread the word about it all? You know, like, do you guys have like any GoFundMe that you're raising money for or anything of that sort?
Well,
or just really spreading the word?
You go onto the website. Twin Cities Recovery Project does a lot of work within the community. So if folks are looking for someone to help them with mental illness issues, substance issues, looking for they're homeless, our organization does a lot of work. We have peer recovery specialists, so we have a person who work with you hands-on and will kind of like guide you through your process, but to instill that you make those connections, and we'll just be that resource, that outlet. If you need a place just to go to hang out, you know, you need a hot meal, you want to just come chill, maybe you got some type of technical skills, we have computer access for the community. We feed the community once a month. So there's a lot of things that the organization does for the community here in north side of Minneapolis and south side.
Well, we have a Juneteenth celebration that happens at the Rock over in St. Louis Park each year, and Gene and I have been there. Will it be our second time this year going there?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big venue. They have multiple vendors there, people with different organizations that are there to share. You know, they had that Battle Cry fellow that was there who helped with mental health for, I think it was black veterans, and I think it'd be amazing. If you want, I can get some information out to you guys if you guys would be open to coming there and get you guys a booth and stuff, because I think it's what you do is it's incredible, man, especially for someone that's been through what y'all been through again, you know, to be able to still stand 10 toes down for those that might need it, you know, even though you're still broken yourself. So, well, I'll make sure his name's Daryl Young. So shout out to Daryl. I'll make sure that we connect with him about it as well.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys want to add before we wrap it up?
I don't know why it's just pulling out of me. And I kind of got emotional when you was talking about Twin Cities Recovery. What he's doing, how I said things must go on while we're doing stuff, and even what we're doing now, we may not be here. Hopefully 100 years from now.
Right.
But what we're doing will continue to go on. And like he was talking about with this great organization that I'm so proud of, Twin Cities Recovery. So the founder of Twin Cities Recovery was one of my mentees. I was his mentor.
Oh, wow.
He was killed in a car accident some years ago. And I remember him continuously coming to tell me, KG, you're going to be proud of me. I'm doing something. I'm putting something together. Right. And I remember him putting it together, and I was like, I think when it happened, I never really got a chance to just face-to-face hug him and say, I'm proud of you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, you know. And so, like here, again, I'm saying to the heavens, I'm proud of him. You know, he's up there. I'm quite sure. Anytime something's done, I believe, down here and people are up there, I feel like they're all together. Like my granddaughter,
Right.
him, all the people are just, it's like TV to them.
Right.
They're watching and we're talking about them. And I had to do that because you can't talk about Twin Cities Recovery without bringing up Mark Jonigan. And I love my little brother, and I want him to know that. And I'm so proud of you, man. And you have helped me, and you have, man, shown me something so powerful, man, in fatherhood. I didn't have a father. I was raised, I told you another story, that I was raised in a foster home, man. And so for me to see you do this, man, single-handedly like that, it is amazing, especially with your hurt and your pain. It's like you're just saying, hey, I'm hurting, I'm in pain, but I am going to continue to raise these children the best I can. And I wanted you to know, man. And I think Damone, he ain't one of them to tell you what certain things that happened, but I think Damone just got an award, didn't you?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Wow.
See what I mean?
What'd you get an award for?
Look at him. Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I can't think of the name itself, but the award was given to me for community work.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the community. Yeah.
That's
And
a
I just wanna
beautiful
say I
thing,
love
man.
After tragedy.
Yeah, that's a
See,
beautiful thing,
that's the
man.
see, like I said, when people pay attention to something after tragedy.
Yeah.
That means that he dealt with the tragedy, he's dealing with the tragedy, and he was able to continue to work and be awarded.
And we didn't know your
Right.
daughter, but I cannot think of, like, I guarantee she's probably
Oh,
smiling
man.
down, man, just how
They
proud of you
watching right
she
now.
is. You know what I mean?
She keep me in check on
Yeah,
a regular
yeah.
basis.
She-
I always share that with KG, but I appreciate you brothers, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate
You
you.
know,
Absolutely.
this is
too,
real.
man.
This is real dope without the potency.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
authentic.
Hey,
so
I
it's
like that.
authentic, right?
And I'm
like
the only
that.
one don't like that word, but I get it.
But hold on, I took
He
out.
changes.
I took it out, and it's authentic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is an authentic space, and I'm really comfortable.
Yeah, man.
In this space, I can feel the love and the spirit, and what I want to say before we end out is that I love you, brother.
I love you too,
And
man.
I appreciate you in so many ways that being able to talk about what we have gone through and what we're currently going through. I just want community to know, bring some justice for my brother, man. Because I'm hurting, because he's hurting, because I know the feeling, Some people say it brings closure, but it doesn't.
Right.
I just imagine when we had that conversation about the fool might be in his face.
Yeah.
That is just,
Sickening.
Man.
and if it ain't the fool, it could be you that know
Right.
who the fool is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And his granddaughter's my niece, and my youngest daughter, they look alike.
Yeah.
So
They
we
sure
always
do.
get our chuckle out of
Oh,
that.
man.
Yeah.
We find
Yeah.
moments where, because he's a funny dude. And
Yeah.
he's sincere, but he a funny dude. I tell him chill, man, sometimes, because he cracks me up.
Yeah.
And I'm a funny dude, too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, that do know us, we
We got a sense of humor.
even where we're at, we have to bring the atmosphere of joy out.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
when we don't want to,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
just want to be where we're at.
Yeah.
We still have to because nobody else will.
Ain't that
And
the
some
truth?
days I just want to be like, I don't want to do it.
Right.
I just want to just chill. Want one of y'all, tickle me or something.
Right. Right.
But I'm glad I have my children, and of losing a child, that I see her in each and every one of them.
Yeah.
And so it's moments that when I feel
Yeah.
the presence, the spirit. And then she had this beautiful smile, and all of a sudden her face would be right on one of them.
One of the kids.
And they'd be like, Daddy, what's going on? I'd be like, nothing.
Yeah. Just
I'm
that-
having a moment.
Those moments, absolutely.
And then I'll go in another room and have the moment.
Right.
Because, you know, I have to, you know, keep it going.
Yeah.
You know, I have to keep it going. And Demaya knows when I'm in that place, she go, Daddy, it's going to be all right. You know. And so to have you brothers be able to, that I could come here, share that. Because I didn't even ask, you know, what was going on.
Yeah.
I just knew that coming here, this is what's supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciate you brothers, man.
Damone, we appreciate you. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing the story, man. I know
Thank
it's
you.
not easy, and I applaud you both, man. And I'm
Yeah.
happy you guys have each other.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for sharing your stories with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate y'all being here. KG, it's always a pleasure. Damone,
Yep.
you're
Have me
welcome back
man.
anytime.
Have
We
me
just
back.
gonna say.
Hey, you can't get me started with something. Look, I'm in. You know, any support y'all need or whatever it is, just let me know.
Absolutely.
Let me know. I'm that type of brother, man. You know, when we say we friends, we friends.
That's what's
Right,
up,
right.
You
bro.
know, I know who ain't a friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know them ones.
Right,
But
absolutely.
I see you brothers is genuine. So
Oh,
if you
man.
need me, and I know if I need
Appreciate
somebody,
you.
Right
I
back
can
at
call
you.
on y'all.
Indeed.
That's what's up. Absolutely,
And that's what
bro.
it's about, especially in these times and
Yeah.
age that we're in. You know, our society, man, whew, it goes deeper than
Yeah.
us.
We gotta stick together, right?
Man, we got to.
Well, thank y'all, man,
Well,
so
thank
much
you.
for being here, for sure. You know, like always, y'all, this is episode 25. You know, you are leveling up with Gene and Jam, your boy Jay.
I'm Gene. Thanks for watching, guys.
We'll see y'all later.
Sabi wrap it up. Sabi wrap it up with Chi.
Oh my God, girl. Good job.